For decades, Sears was a cornerstone of American retail. It dominated the industry, revolutionized shopping habits, and built an empire that seemed indestructible. But today, that empire lies in ruins, a cautionary tale of corporate mismanagement, economic shifts, and the relentless march of technological progress. This is the story of the rise and fall of Sears, how it became a retail powerhouse, what led to its downfall, and why its collapse signaled the end of an era in American shopping. To understand the downfall of Sears, we first need to look at how it became a retail juggernaut. The company was founded in 1893 by Richard Sears and Alva Roebuck, and it started as a mail-order business. At a time when most Americans lived in rural areas with limited access to goods, Sears provided a way for people to order everything from clothing to tools to entire houses, all through a catalog. The Sears catalog became a staple in American homes. For many families, it was their primary way of shopping, offering an unmatched selection of products at affordable prices. This innovation gave Sears a national reach, making it the Amazon of its time. The catalog was more than just a shopping tool, it was a cultural phenomenon. Children would circle their favorite toys in the holiday edition, and families relied on it for household essentials, furniture, and even farming equipment. In the 1920s, Sears expanded beyond catalogs and opened brick-and-mortar stores. As America urbanized and automobile ownership increased, shopping habits changed. Sears adapted by opening stores in major cities and suburban areas, providing customers with the same variety and affordability they had enjoyed from the catalog. These physical stores allowed consumers to experience products firsthand, interact with sales associates, and make immediate purchases, further strengthening customer trust in the brand. By the 1950s and 1960s, Sears was at its peak. It was the largest retailer in the United States, operating thousands of stores and employing hundreds of thousands of people. Sears sold everything: clothing, home appliances, tools, auto parts, and even insurance. It was a one-stop shop for American consumers. The company's strategy was simple but effective: offer quality products at competitive prices while maintaining strong customer service. This approach made Sears a staple in almost every household. Sears didn't just dominate retail, it shaped American culture. Its Kenmore appliances, Craftsman tools, and die-hard batteries became household names, trusted for their reliability and performance. The Sears Tower, once the tallest building in the world, symbolized the company's immense success and ambition. Sears was not just a store, it was a national institution. Sears had mastered the art of customer loyalty. Through its catalog sales and growing store presence, the company became the go-to retailer for middle-class Americans. It pioneered innovations like credit programs, allowing customers to buy now and pay later, which made shopping more accessible to millions of families. Store warranties and loyalty benefits ensured that customers kept returning, further solidifying Sears' reputation as a trustworthy brand. Additionally, Sears expanded its influence beyond retail. The company founded Allstate Insurance, providing a new revenue stream while reinforcing its reputation as a brand that consumers could rely on for more than just shopping. Its financial services division also helped drive more sales, as customers could finance their large purchases through Sears credit options. Sears wasn't just about selling products, it was about creating an entire lifestyle for the American consumer. It played a role in suburban expansion, offering prefabricated houses through its catalog that could be shipped to a buyer and assembled on-site. It also launched exclusive product lines that could only be found in its stores, making Sears a brand synonymous with innovation and consumer trust. But nothing lasts forever. As Sears continued to grow, so did the retail landscape, and the changes that once worked in its favor would soon turn against it. By the 1980s, cracks were starting to form in Sears' foundation. The retail landscape was changing, and Sears was struggling to keep up. At the same time, consumer habits were shifting rapidly, driven by advancements in logistics, technology, and evolving shopping expectations. One major challenge was competition. Discount retailers like Walmart and Kmart were on the rise, offering lower prices and a more efficient business model. Unlike Sears, these new competitors focused on cost-cutting and supply chain efficiency, allowing them to sell products at unbeatable prices. Walmart, in particular, was revolutionizing inventory management through its advanced distribution centers and real-time sales tracking, which enabled the company to keep costs low and stock replenished at an unprecedented speed. At the same time, specialty retailers like Best Buy, Home Depot, and Lowe's began taking away Sears' market share in key categories. Customers who once relied on Sears for appliances, tools, and electronics now had dedicated stores that offered better selection, knowledgeable staff, and a more focused shopping experience. Home Depot, for instance, appealed directly to DIY enthusiasts and contractors, providing a level of specialization that Sears could not match. This fragmentation of the retail market put additional pressure on Sears, which was still trying to be a one-stop shop for everything. Another issue was Sears' corporate strategy. In an attempt to diversify, the company acquired financial and real estate businesses, including the Dean Witter Brokerage and Coldwell Banker Real Estate. These moves distracted leadership from the core retail business, leaving Sears vulnerable to its retail competitors. While other retailers were investing in customer experience, store renovations, and technology upgrades, Sears was spreading itself thin across multiple industries that had little to do with retail. The result was a leadership team that lacked focus and failed to develop a clear vision for the company's future. Instead of investing in store modernization, customer experience, and logistics, Sears was focusing on financial services. This lack of investment in retail became more apparent as the 1990s approached. Store layouts remained outdated, customer service declined, and inventory management lagged behind its competitors. While Walmart and Target were optimizing their supply chains to deliver lower prices and better product availability, Sears was failing to keep up with even the most basic retail innovations. Additionally, consumer preferences were shifting. The rise of suburban malls and big-box retailers changed the way people shopped. Shoppers were now drawn to experiences, well-lit, well-organized stores with a modern feel. Sears' traditional department store model, which had thrived in earlier decades, struggled to attract modern consumers. Younger shoppers, in particular, found Sears branding to be outdated and uninspiring compared to the fresh marketing campaigns of emerging competitors. The inability to modernize its stores, coupled with the failure to recognize the growing importance of e-commerce in its early stages, sealed Sears' fate. By the time the company realized it needed to adapt, the competition had already pulled too far ahead. The 1980s and 1990s were a turning point in retail, and while many companies evolved to meet the challenges, Sears remained stuck in its past success, unable to see the writing on the wall. By the 1990s, Walmart had surpassed Sears as the largest retailer in the U.S. The rise of big-box stores and category killers put additional pressure on Sears, which was slow to react to the changing landscape. Other retailers were embracing new inventory management techniques, while Sears remained reliant on outdated supply chain methods that slowed its ability to restock and offer competitive pricing. At the same time, the Internet was emerging as a new force in retail. Companies like Amazon were beginning to show how e-commerce could revolutionize shopping, but Sears failed to take online retail seriously. Despite having a strong catalog business that could have transitioned into e-commerce, the company did little to innovate. Sears had the infrastructure, customer data, and logistics in place to become a leader in online shopping, but leadership failed to recognize the digital shift and dismissed e-commerce as a passing trend. Sears continued to lose market share as consumers sought more convenience, better prices, and improved shopping experiences elsewhere. In 2005, the company was acquired by hedge fund manager Eddie Lampert, who merged it with Kmart. Many hoped that this merger would revive both struggling retailers, but instead, it accelerated their decline. The merger was driven more by financial strategy than retail strategy, and instead of reinvesting in stores or improving customer experience, cost-cutting took priority. Lampert implemented aggressive cost-cutting measures, reducing store maintenance, cutting jobs, and slashing inventory. Employees became overworked, customer service declined, and stores often appeared empty and neglected. Locations that had once been bustling hubs of retail now felt outdated and underwhelming compared to modernized competitors. As maintenance was deferred and supply chains weakened, customers frequently encountered half-empty shelves and poorly maintained facilities, driving them to competitors like Walmart, Target, and Home Depot. Meanwhile, competitors like Walmart, Target, and Amazon were adapting to new consumer habits and investing heavily in technology. Walmart refined its logistics and supply chain operations, Target invested in store renovations and product curation, and Amazon set the standard for convenience with its two-day shipping model. In contrast, Sears remained stagnant, unable to match the efficiency, pricing, or experience offered by its rivals. By the late 2000s, Sears was no longer just a struggling retailer, it had become a symbol of corporate stagnation. The company continued closing stores at an alarming rate, further diminishing its physical presence and alienating its remaining loyal customers. It had missed key opportunities to innovate, failing to transition its legacy catalog business into a modern e-commerce platform. Instead of leveraging its brand equity, Sears clung to outdated retail strategies that no longer worked in the digital age. As the 2010s approached, it became clear that Sears was no longer just struggling, it was on the verge of collapse. The company's leadership failed to recognize the urgency of change, and without modernization efforts, Sears had little chance of recovering. What had once been America's greatest retailer was now just a fading memory in the eyes of consumers. By the 2010s, Sears was in freefall. Store closures became more frequent, sales plummeted, and the company's reputation was in shambles. Shopping at Sears was no longer an exciting experience, it was a reminder of a bygone era. Many of its once loyal customers no longer saw the appeal of its outdated stores, especially when modern competitors were offering more streamlined and enjoyable shopping experiences both in-store and online. As competitors invested in advanced technology, supply chain improvements, and customer experience innovations, Sears remained stuck in its old ways. Customers abandoned the brand in favor of competitors with better prices, selection, and convenience. Online shopping had become the dominant force in retail, and Sears had missed the opportunity to evolve. Its lack of digital strategy left it unable to compete with the likes of Amazon, which provided consumers with fast, convenient, and often cheaper alternatives. Instead of embracing the digital revolution, Sears struggled to modernize, resulting in declining foot traffic and a significant loss of relevance. By the mid-2010s, Sears had become synonymous with failure in the retail sector. Store shelves were often bare, customer service was lacking, and once iconic locations were either closing or left in a state of neglect. Meanwhile, retail giants like Walmart, Target, and Amazon thrived by consistently adapting to changing consumer behaviors. Sears, on the other hand, continued to rely on outdated business strategies that no longer resonated with shoppers. In 2018, Sears filed for bankruptcy. Decades of poor leadership, lack of innovation, and failure to keep up with the changing retail landscape had finally caught up with the company. The bankruptcy marked a significant moment in retail history, signifying the fall of a once great empire that had been unable to adjust to the realities of modern commerce. While some stores managed to remain open under new ownership, the damage had been done. Sears was no longer a key player in the retail market. The fall of Sears marked the end of an era. Once a symbol of American retail dominance, it had become a cautionary tale of what happens when a company refuses to adapt. The brand, which had once led the industry with groundbreaking innovations, had been outpaced by younger, more agile competitors who embraced technology and the evolving needs of consumers. Sears' collapse served as a stark warning for other legacy brands. No matter how successful a company may be at its peak, failing to anticipate and respond to change can lead to its downfall. Sears' downfall offers valuable lessons for businesses and consumers alike. It highlights the importance of adaptation, customer experience, and innovation in a rapidly changing world. Failure to adapt kills businesses. Sears had the infrastructure and brand recognition to dominate e-commerce, but it failed to make the necessary investments. Businesses that don't evolve with the times risk becoming obsolete. Customer experience matters. While competitors improved their stores and online services, Sears let its stores become outdated and unappealing. Customers notice when companies stop caring about them. Leadership and vision are crucial. Sears was once the most innovative retailer in the world, but poor leadership decisions over decades eroded its competitive edge. Strong leadership is necessary for long-term success. What do you think? Could Sears have survived if it had adapted sooner, or was its collapse inevitable? Let us know in the comments.